Hey guys, Julian here. Today I'm going to be showing you some tips on how to make risers in Serum. So to start off with, I'm just going to get Serum and we're going to make a very basic riser. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and draw this MIDI clip that's going to be 8 bars. And I'm just going to put in one long note at, I'm going to put in one long note at F, let's do F2. And the note that I choose for these usually kind of just depends on the key of the song. Like, I don't think it really matters too much, but I'll usually just do it at the root note of whatever song or whatever key the song is in. So, yeah, after that, we're going to go into Serum. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click right here where it says 2, this little pitch bend range, and I'm going to turn that up to 24, just the maximum setting. And then we're going to click on this little arrow here in the little box they have for Serum in Ableton. And then we're going to hit Configure, and we're going to move this little pitch bend wheel. And then that's going to show up there. And the reason why you have to do that, because if we don't have this configured, I'll undo that real quick. If we don't have this configured and I move this pitch bend, you'll see it will still show up as an automation over here in Serum or in Ableton. But what can happen if you don't actually do the configure step is it just won't, like after a while, it won't be enabled and you'll have to go through and redraw in the automation, and it's just annoying. So it's easier to do it this way. And then what I'm going to do, once that shows up here in the automation, is I'm just going to click one little point at the bottom and one little point here. And now we have this. Just like a really simple, straightforward saw riser. Very simple. You know, you've probably heard this before. So this is like the basic, sort of template. There's a few things you can do over this that I hear a lot in tracks. One of them is you can put like a lot of unison on it. So say we just have the saw wave, I just turn up the unison voices to 16. Now it'll sound like this. So it's like a lot more full, a lot more kind of like build-y sounding. But it sounds pretty good when you do that. Another trick is to make this little rack with a reverb and an auto filter, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. What we're going to do is we're going to get the reverb. I'm going to turn up the decay time a bit, and then we're going to make a group. I'm going to click on both of these, click on one and then hit shift, and you can click on both. And I'm going to hit Control G or Command G if you're on a Mac, and I'm going to map this dry wet of the reverb to macro 1. I'm going to map this filter frequency to macro 1, and then I'm going to map this resonance as well. Now, after I do that, I'm going to go into the auto filter and set it to a high pass, and then we're going to click on map here on the audio effect rack. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this resonance control so it doesn't just go all the way up. You can use these like minimum and maximum values to set exactly what I just said, the minimum and maximum values that your mappings will allow it to go to. So we could do like maybe to there with the resonance. And then with the frequency, I'm also going to turn it down a little bit, because if you listen, in the highest ranges, you really can't even hear it. So maybe I'll let it get, like that's as high as it'll get. So now, if we turn off map, it'll go back to normal, and we can automate this macro to just go over the whole thing. And we'll have a nice little reverb sweep. But then we also have this high pass, sort of like really washing it out. And you don't have to let that go all the way up. I mean, this is all just kind of being done very quickly, but it gives you an idea. This is a really good thing to use on risers. You can use this on not even just like pitch risers like this, but like white noise risers, even like on your different instruments in your builds. This can really sound good, this little reverb and high pass trick. And something to note here also is the resonance is pretty important, and the reason why, I'll show you, is because if you just let the resonance be all the way down for the whole thing, then toward the end it just fades out. But if you give it some resonance at the end, you get a little bit more going on. And you could just keep the resonance at the same thing the whole time, but I prefer to map it to this macro because sometimes at the beginning, You may have heard it, but you can get some kind of weird resonances in the bass region. So I just prefer to map it to a macro and have it not be an issue. So after we've done this, there's a few other things you can do to sort of spruce this up and make your own kind of like creative, interesting risers. If I go back into Serum, an obvious one would be you could change the waveform. So like instead of a saw wave, I'll try a square wave. Sounds pretty cool. You could also do a few things with like the pitch of this. So like I could get this LFO 1 and put it on the fine tuning of this oscillator that we're using. Maybe turn it down a little bit. And now if I turn off BPM syncing and turn this up to very fast, you'll get like the kind of screechy, like sort of like that hardstyle lead type of sound, I guess. You could do a lot of things. You could maybe put like an LFO on the volume, so it goes like this. Stuff like that. I could put on the reverb filter. I mean, I could just go on forever here, but I wanted to make this to show you like some creative techniques and hopefully plant some kind of seed in your mind to give you like some interesting ideas to try next time you have to make a riser for your track, or if you're just doing sound design or whatever. So let me know what you think, guys. I've been trying these like little shorter, more focused tutorials, and I think they're kind of interesting. So let me know what you think. Check out my sample packs in the description below. Comment on this video, like this video, subscribe, share this video, and I will see you guys again tomorrow for another tutorial. Peace.